Yeah, it will depend on the data, of course. And there's a lot of data coming up that will determine what the company is going to look like at the other end of it. And all of that's going to happen in the next 6 months. So there's a huge opportunity for value creation and growth.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Paul Peter Talk. He is the CEO of Candel Therapeutics. And Paul Peter, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm very well. It's great to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you along. Interested to learn a bit more about your company. And why don't you start there? Tell me a little bit of background on the company.
Yeah, Candel Therapeuitics develops viral immunotherapies for very difficult to treat cancers. So think of non-small cell lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer, and glioblastoma, brain cancer.
And so how is it a type of technology that you're using or compounds? What is it that sort of differentiates your company from others?
Yeah, it's a unique approach actually. So the lead compound, CAN-2409, is used for in situ vaccination against the patient's own tumor. So basically, if a patient has, for example, metastatic disease, multiple tumors, we select one or two of these tumors. Actually, it doesn't matter too much which one. And we inject our medicine into the tumor. We combine it with a tablet, and that leads to cell death in that tumor, which allows us to educate the patient's own immune system how to recognize the tumor at the site of the injection, but also against the uninjected distant metastases. Actually, clinically, it's a very simple procedure. The injection is very simple, like in the prostate, takes 15, 20 minutes. In an outpatient clinic, it's well tolerated. Patients go home afterwards. And then we get a durable anti-tumor immune response in these patients. That explains the very encouraging clinical results that we've recently reported in pancreatic cancer and in non-small cell lung cancer. And then we expect the readout of 2 large randomized clinical trials in this quarter. So this is going to happen before January the 1st, about 900 patients in total in early localized prostate cancer, where no new treatment has been approved in the last more than 30 years. Still huge unmet need, very big commercial opportunity as well.
Yeah. And so when those are, so you mentioned the sort of where you are along the pipeline of releasing those and the studies that are going to come out. Obviously that's the one step that you have to take. Where do you take that from here once you're able to get all that data out? Because the one you talked about for prostate cancer, for instance, as you mentioned, it's an unmet need that is really a challenging disease, no matter where you are anywhere in the world.
It's very true. So it's a very big opportunity. So if the data are positive, and we are quite confident, that's a high probability of success based on everything that we've seen before. Then, of course, if that is positive, it's such a big opportunity that we would probably look for regional partnerships, because I want to get this to as many patients worldwide as possible. And obviously, as a small biotech company, you're not able to do that alone. So we will probably partner with the right partnerships, which could be regional partnerships, so focused on specific parts of the world, while we might develop it in the United States.
Yeah, and that's you mentioned being a small company. That's super important to have those type of partnerships, and there's a lot of research that's going on around the world. As far as your company is concerned, give me sort of an idea over the next 6 months to a year where you see the company going. Obviously, partnerships are going to be important, but are you looking at other possibilities and other treatments using for your technology?
Yeah, it will depend on the data, of course. And there's a lot of data coming up that will determine what the company is going to look like at the other end of it. And all of that's going to happen in the next 6 months. So there's a huge opportunity for value creation and growth. So as I mentioned, the readout of 2 large randomized clinical trials in prostate cancer. We are also going to present next month new data for our other asset, which is actually equally interesting. It's called CAN-3110. It's a herpes simplex virus that has been engineered to specifically infect and target the tumor while sparing the healthy tissue. And we tested in a very difficult to treat cancer, which is glioblastoma. Very difficult to treat form of brain cancer. We published the initial data in Nature. You can't go higher in terms of impact factor. And we got fast track designation from the FDA for all our programs. So it's super exciting. This was all based on the single injection of CAN-3110 into the tumor. And in November, at the International Oncolytic Viral Immunotherapy meeting, which will be held in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, we will present data for serial injections. So that could be quite exciting. We believe that we have a medicine here in an area where everybody else has failed. And then we also found that this treatment might work in other cancers outside the brain. So think of melanoma, triple negative breast cancer, sarcoma. And we're going to present data at SITC, big immunotherapy meeting for cancer, based on the mouse model of melanoma for the same medicine, CAN-3110. So this is still preclinical, again, with very encouraging results. And then in Q1, the first quarter of next year, we will have the final overall survival data for the randomized clinical trial in pancreatic cancer, and also for the open label phase 2 clinical trial in therapy-resistant non-small cell lung cancer. So we hope that if several of these are positive, that we will be able to raise significant funds, actually, finance, to get us to the next stage and to build this company to a small pharmaceutical company, which would probably be done in partnerships with pharma companies. Because I've been the global head of development of a big pharma company, GSK, and I know that these companies are really good at getting this to many patients and commercializing it.
Yeah, that's the key for sure. Thank you so much for updating us on where you're at. It sounds like it's very exciting. And as I mentioned, in areas that really need the help and really need the research for sure. So, Paul Peter, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah, there's Dr. Paul Peter talk. He is the CEO of Candel Therapeutics.